Hi, my name is Marie Blevins, and this is my interpersonal communications project for HSCO 508 through Liberty University. Next. I live in Cumberland, Virginia with my husband of 14 years, with 3 beautiful children. We also have a 19-year-old daughter that no longer lives at home. I've been a student at Liberty University ever since 2009, and I have earned an associate's in interdisciplinary studies, a bachelor's in crisis counseling, and a bachelor's in substance abuse and recovery. Next. Today I want to discuss with you the things that I have learned in this course, not only about communication in general, but also about myself as an ineffective communicator. Next. It is my overarching goal to build supportive relationships by learning to effectively communicate, specifically by working on empathetic listening. Next. In order to work on communicating effectively, it was important to learn the definition of communication, which was described as the continuous, complex, collaborative process of verbal and nonverbal meaning making. The next step was learning the main characteristic of interpersonal communication, and that was that people involved are contacting each other as persons. Next. During the first week of this course, we were instructed to participate in a personality quiz. I learned so much about myself. Some of it I was happy with and some of it I was not. In the section titled What Was Expected of Me, I learned that I do long for approval in everything that I do. I also learned that I love to talk and affect people with words and stories, which I already knew. Next. However, I also learned that I need to listen more and work on being more organized. I have always deemed myself a good listener, so this was a big shock to me. Next. The results from this Is Me section were that of a high IC personality. I feel that I am a people and task-oriented person. I also hope that I am inspiring, influencing, and impressing, as the test indicated. Next. However, I also learned that I need to be very careful to be a good example and guard what I say. I tend to be critical, even when I don't mean to be. I also give advice in a way that sounds more like, this is what you need to do, versus, I am so sorry that you're dealing with that, even though that's what I really need to say. Next. As a chronic talker, it's hard to imagine that I could possibly have barriers in communication. However, I have learned to acknowledge that it is not what I say that makes me a good communicator. I have learned through this course that sometimes it's better not to say anything at all. I tend to be an I'm okay, you're not okay person in my attempt at constantly trying to fix others. Although good intentions are there, I have probably ruined many friendships over this. I also learned that I'm a terrible listener. One of my key problems is that I talk too much, but I also have a tendency of thinking of the next thing that I need to say while the person is still talking. It's really impossible to listen effectively when you're having a conversation with yourself and ignoring what the other person is trying to say completely. I have also learned that sometimes people may just want to talk without any expectation of advice. I used to think that as a psychology major, I had a tattoo on my forehead that screamed, "Please tell me all your problems and I'll help you." However, I think that maybe they just felt that I was a comfortable place to talk, and I certainly did not provide that for them by telling them what they should do next. Next. One of the materials from this class that has helped me the most is the book by Peterson, Why Don't We Listen Better? This book provides 33 listening techniques that I found to be very helpful, and I plan to utilize this until I'm communicating correctly on my own. Another useful tool that the book provided was the TLC, or Talker Listener Card. I have introduced this concept to a friend of mine, and we will be practicing using it together. One of the most useful pieces of information of this book for me right now was how to communicate after death. When tragedy struck our town a few weeks ago, it was very hard to come face to face with the mother of the 2 girls who lost their lives. I was very thankful to have had the confirmation from the book that I was handling just as I should. Sometimes the less you say, the better. Next. Part of putting my plan into action was finding my listening buddy to practice the Talker Listener Card with. I will also practice not talking as much and to stop the conversation in my head while I listen to the person talking to me. Finally, I will put into practice using a positive effect to enhance empathy, the empathy that I have for the person speaking. Next. In conclusion, it is important to take the steps to become a better communicator, specifically in the human service field, where the main goal is to be of help to others. Thank you so much for listening to my presentation. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope that you get as much out of it as I did. Next.